What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money.
Jake's refusal to take the Tate fight feels like a big missed opportunity. It could have been a spectacle both men are known for. Imagine the clash of egos, a showdown worthy of primetime TV. But Jake clearly didn't like the odds, and Floyd wasted no time calling him out. He accused Jake of avoiding real challenges just to protect his undefeated record. Floyd didn't stop there. He also pointed out Jake's habit of cherry-picking opponents, like fighting people.
What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money, and when they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
Floyd Mayweather just took Jake Paul, the so-called problem child of boxing, to school. Jake turned down a fight with Andrew Tate like it was an annoying bill he didn't want to deal with. This is the same Jake Paul who constantly boasts about being ready to fight anyone, anywhere, at any time. But when it comes to opponents who could actually knock him out and challenge his ego, suddenly those offers don't seem so appealing.
I will fight you. And you know that's one of the biggest fights to make in boxing. I'll weigh 175. You weigh 165. We can get that done. Make a couple $100 million. But what will your excuse be?
Then there's Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated king of boxing, watching from the sidelines like a disappointed parent. Floyd didn't just call Jake out. He completely tore him apart. He labeled Jake a cherry picker, accusing him of only stepping into the ring with opponents he knows he can easily beat. Let's face it, Floyd has a point. Jake's fights aren't really about proving himself as a boxer. They're more about building a highlight reel for YouTube, just like he did here.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys? Yo, let's bust him up.
That's why Mayweather has been so critical of Jake's whole approach to boxing. To Floyd, Jake represents everything that's wrong with the sport today: style over substance, hype over heart. And let's not forget the infamous gotcha hat incident, where Jake grabbed Floyd's cap at a press event. That stunt didn't just annoy Floyd, it reinforced his belief that Jake is more of a clown than a real competitor.
Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at him! Jake Paul running, champ!
Jake's refusal to take the Tate fight feels like a big missed opportunity. It could have been a spectacle both men are known for. Imagine the clash of egos, a showdown worthy of primetime TV. But Jake clearly didn't like the odds, and Floyd wasted no time calling him out. He accused Jake of avoiding real challenges just to protect his undefeated record.
Also rumours that there was rules embedded within the contract that prevented Mike Tyson from throwing certain shots.
Floyd didn't stop there. He also pointed out Jake's habit of cherry-picking opponents, like fighting people with no boxing experience or those well past their prime, like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. Neither of them were a real threat in the ring. Then, when Jake finally faced a legitimate boxer, Tommy Fury, he lost. So it's no surprise he's hesitant to fight Tate, who has real combat credentials. After Floyd's comments, social media exploded with memes, tweets, and TikToks roasting Jake for avoiding Tate and getting called out by Mayweather. Fans of Floyd made it clear, Jake's whole persona is built on bravado, but his actions don't match up. If he's not willing to fight Andrew Tate, how can anyone take his boxing career seriously?
Because he's 58. Check out what he says next.
Until this clinch. People are saying in this clinch, Jake asked Mike to calm down.
Floyd also questioned the legitimacy of Jake's fights, calling them fixed and more about entertainment than actual sport. He's not alone in thinking this way. Many critics have accused Jake of scripting his matches and avoiding real competition. While Jake denies these claims, his refusal to fight Tate doesn't exactly help his case. The bigger issue here is Jake's unwillingness to take risks. At its core, boxing is about proving yourself against the best. It's about grit, determination, and facing anyone. Jake, however, seems content to play it safe, sticking to opponents he knows he can beat. Floyd's criticism of Jake goes beyond the ring. He sees Jake as someone who disrespects the sport, turning it into a show for clicks and cash. Floyd's own career, love him or hate him, was built on facing top-tier opponents and maintaining an undefeated record. Jake, on the other hand, is more focused on keeping his influencer status intact.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Yeah, like there was a point where, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit.
Rejecting Andrew Tate wasn't just a strategic move for Jake, it was a clear sign of his limitations. Tate's bold personality and combat experience made him a dangerous opponent, and Jake wasn't willing to risk his carefully crafted image. But by dodging the fight, he's only given Mayweather and the boxing community more reasons to doubt him. Floyd's criticism may be harsh, but it rings true. Jake is in a position to elevate his career by taking on real challenges, yet he keeps choosing the easy path. While his fans might defend it as smart business, the boxing world sees it for what it really is: cowardice.
Your decision making, when most boxers, we don't follow their career at this point.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be in the position I am, to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to, but I put it on the line against some of the best in the sport.
Floyd Mayweather.
There came a point when it was clear Jake wasn't really engaging back, and you could tell his age was starting to show a bit. Now the question is whether Jake will ever step up. He's been called out by some of the biggest names in boxing, yet he continues to dodge real competition. Floyd's comments should be a wake-up call, but knowing Jake, they'll likely just spark more social media drama. As Floyd pointed out, Jake's actions have consequences. By avoiding real fighters, he risks losing what little credibility he has left. Boxing fans are tired of the spectacle. They want real fights, not staged charades. Until Jake proves otherwise, he'll stay a controversial figure, but never a respected one. Jake's refusal to fight Andrew Tate, followed by Mayweather's takedown, has exposed the cracks in his boxing career. Despite all his bravado, Jake has shown he's unwilling to take on real challenges. As Floyd bluntly put it, he doesn't have the balls. The ball is in Jake's court now, but if history is any guide, he'll likely drop it. Andrew Tate might be polarizing, but he's a trained fighter with years of experience. He's undeniably skilled. Jake, however, wasn't interested. Why? Because unlike retired MMA fighters or social media stars, Tate would have actually been a real threat. Jake's camp can spin it however they want, scheduling conflicts, business priorities, but the truth is clear: Jake doesn't want a fight he can't control.
Proof the Paul brothers rigged their fights. In the first round of the Mike Tyson fight, Mike was getting to Jake and landing some shots until this clinch. People are...
Well, first off, Mike Tyson only landed like 19 total punches the entire fight, and I think in the first round he landed 2 or 3. So even when Mike was doing his best, he still wasn't doing too great. Why? Because he's 58.
Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back when he called Jake Paul out, and he made a solid point. When Floyd mentioned Jake avoiding fighters like Canelo Alvarez, it wasn't just a jab, it was a fact. Fighters like Canelo are in a completely different league, and Jake knows he can't compete with them. Rather than risk embarrassment, Jake sticks to opponents who either lack boxing experience or are past their prime. Look at his fight history. Nate Robinson, a basketball player with no boxing credentials, was an easy win. Ben Askren, a retired MMA fighter with poor striking skills, was an obvious knockout. Tyron Woodley, another aging MMA star, and even then, Jake barely got by in their first fight. When he finally faced Tommy Fury, a real boxer, he lost. That defeat showed a harsh truth: Jake's skills aren't as impressive as his social media presence suggests. Then there's the entertainment factor. Jake's fights are more about putting on a show than actual sport. From flashy entrances to trash talk, he knows how to sell tickets. But boxing purists see through it all. Floyd Mayweather, a man who's fought and defeated some of the greatest in history, has every right to call Jake out. Floyd didn't build his career on gimmicks. He built it on skill, strategy, and discipline. But let's dive deeper into Floyd's criticism. When he said Jake doesn't have the balls to fight Canelo, it wasn't just about Jake fearing a loss, it's about Jake's refusal to grow as a fighter. True boxers take risks. They face opponents who push them, challenge them, and force them to improve. Jake, on the other hand, seems content to stay where he is, avoiding growth. This isn't just Floyd's opinion, it's a view shared by many in the boxing world. Fighters who've spent years perfecting their craft resent Jake's sudden rise because it feels undeserved. While they're grinding in the gym, Jake is racking up wins against subpar opponents. Floyd's critique resonates because it voices a broader frustration within the sport. Clip 10. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson have created a buzz in the boxing world with talk of a potential showdown. Jake, known for his attention-grabbing antics, is a controversial figure in the sport. Tyson, on the other hand, is a heavyweight legend with a career built on skill and legacy. The speculation about a fight between them has only grown, with Jake seeming unbothered by the idea of facing a boxing icon. Tyson, who has hinted at continuing to take part in exhibition matches, might see Jake as an interesting challenge to test the new generation of boxers. Let's not forget about the fans. Jake's supporters may defend his choice of opponents as smart business, but even they have to wonder how long this act can go on. Sooner or later, Jake will have to face a real challenge or risk becoming a joke. Rejecting Andrew Tate wasn't just a tactical move, it was a missed chance to silence his critics. Instead, it gave them even more fuel to fire back. What makes Floyd Mayweather's critique so impactful is that it's based on truth. Jake can't keep hiding behind social media stunts forever. The more he avoids real competition, the more his credibility fades. While his fans may stick around for the spectacle, the boxing world will continue to view him as a joke.
Your decision making, when most boxers, we don't follow their career at this point.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be in the position I am, to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to, but I put it on the line against some of the best in the sport.
Floyd Mayweather.